All right. Today we have volume of a cylinder. We have volume of a cylinder. So I want to everybody take a look at that real quick. At the top of your page here, is a cylinder a prism?
No.
The reason why it is a prism is because there are two bases, and the bases are exactly the same, and they're parallel to each other. All right, is everybody with me on that? Remember, we said prism can have different bases. It can be a triangle, it can be a rectangle, it can be a square, it can be a trapezoid, it can be any shape, pentagonal, octagonal, it can be any base whatsoever, as long as there are two bases and they're parallel to each other. That makes it a prism. So in this case, is a cylinder a prism? And the answer is yes. How do I know that? Because you can take this circle right here, all right, that is given, and you can now draw that circle, and you can see if I were to move this circle down here, all right, it's the same. All right, so that's why the cylinder is considered a prism. Now, from Thursday, can anybody tell me what the volume of a prism, what the formula is? Thank you. That's right. Volume is equal to capital B, capital H. And capital B just simply stands for what? Area of the base. It stands for area of the base. That's it. All right. So now, I also try to draw for you in here, that is a cube. When you're trying to find volume, you're trying to find the number of cubes that fit into that shape. That's what we're trying to do. All right? So in this case, I need someone to tell me what the base shape is. What is the base shape? Connor. What is the base shape? Someone tell him. The what? No. It is a circle. That's what we got. All right? The base shape is a circle. The base shape is a circle. And what is the formula for area of a circle? Pi r squared. Thank you. So you know the volume of a cylinder is going to be capital B, capital H. But then you're going to say volume equals pi r squared, because that's the area of the circle, and then you're going to multiply it by the height. All right? So now again, writing the formula, now we're going to write the numbers in the formula. So V is equal to pi. What is the radius of the circle? What is the radius of the circle?
Radius is 9.6.
Yes, it is. Thank you. 9.6 squared. And what's the height of the prism now? What's the height of the prism? Tell me. 30. Beautiful. All right, now I just use parentheses. You can just hit what? Multiply if you want. All right, so now everybody take out your calculator. And you enter pi times 9.6 squared times 30. Again, some people are having trouble with their calculators. All right, Sean, where's your calculator? It's not an answer. All right, there's also a place in fractions for coming to class prepared. Coming to class on time. These are important things. All right, what is the volume? Someone. What is it?
I got 8,685.88.
Anybody else get that? All right, and then we would measure the units with what? What type?
So,
Feet cubed. All right. Now again, you can't not do that in practice. Get your calculator out and do it. All right. So I want everybody, while I'm trying to find Sean a calculator, I want everybody to write volume equals base times height. Volume equals pi r squared times h. And then I want everybody to plug those numbers in for question number 2. And let's see if I've done a good job showing you how to do that. Don't use that. I don't want you on that. Everybody good? So help me out with number 2. What'd you get?
I got 602.88.
So volume, I wanted to make sure volume equals pi times 8 squared times 3, right? And you tell me again one more time.
I got volume equals 602.88.
Anybody else get 602.88? Is everybody happy with that? Now again, I'm asking you, make sure you're using your calculator. If you're off by a little bit, I'm okay with that. Did you get something? Is that good? 600 what? 600 what? 603. So that's probably a difference between using 3.14 and using pi, honestly. Yeah, so do I really care? No, you're close enough. All right, you're close enough. All right, everybody happy with that? All right, I'm pretty confident you guys can do number 3 now. Now, what's the difference between 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3? Yeah, there's no picture. That's it. There's no picture. All right, I'm confident in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody good? All right, that's your homework. All right, now I'm moving on. Question number 7. Everybody put a star by number 7. This is kind of like a new little topic for you. Now they're giving you the volume and you have to work backwards. All right, they're giving you the volume and you have to work backwards. All right, so the first thing you always do is you write the formula for volume of a cylinder. Volume is equal to pi r squared h times capital H. So that's going down first. What? You can. You can put that down. V equals capital B times capital H. But the area of the base is a what? Circle. That's why we did pi r squared H. You with me now? All right. So now we're working backwards this time. So they give us the volume.
Why do you put the lowercase h and the capital H?
Very good question. All right. I don't. There is no lowercase h there. Sorry, that's what you were telling me. I didn't realize that. Sorry. All right. So that's the formula. Volume equals pi r squared times capital H. All right. Now, again, you're just making a substitution. What is the volume? This time they give us the volume. So we write 60,052.5 is equal to pi. What's the radius? That's what I want everybody to write down now. Now we're doing a little bit of algebra. All right, we're doing a little bit of the algebra. So now I need someone to tell me what pi times 15 squared is. Everybody do that on your calculator. And what is that?
706.
Somewhere close to that. Do you agree? Are we happy with that? What? Yes, ma'am. Well, try pi times 15 squared. That may be why you're confused.
I just don't understand why you would put that.
Because this is what it's telling me. That's a good question. Watch, and I'm going to try to help you. I'm trying to show you. This is what that is. I'm trying to figure out what's missing. The height is what's missing. You with me? So I'm kind of working backwards. But the first thing I have to do is do the multiplication. All right? Listen, you guys are distracting. Okay? Next time I'm just going to say pick up and move. That's it. All right? You don't have to be making a noise to be distracted. All right? Now, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
All right. So from there, I need to solve for h. So solving for h, I would have to do what? Tell me.
60,052.5 divided by 7.
Yes, exactly right. So we're going to come over here and we're just going to go 706.86, 706.86. And now these two things cancel out because you divided them. So h, the height was approximately 84.96, and we'd say that would be about feet. Well, if we were measuring volume, you'd be correct, but we're not. We're measuring the height.
Oh.
Okay? We're measuring the height. Height is one dimensional. All right? Now, what? Yes, but I don't want to go into that right now. All right. Now, 7 is the same as 8 and 9. So if you did 7, it's 8 and 9 is not a problem. All right, same type of thing. All right, so you should be fine with those. Now, here's where we get into something a little bit more difficult. So let's talk about 10, 11. 11 is just written twice. So, yeah, I made a typo there. All right, so don't worry about that number 11. So what we're doing here is we're looking at multiple shapes now. All right, where you have to try to calculate volume based on the shapes in this question number 10. So question number 10, you should say you see a what? What shapes? What two shapes? Tucker.
I see a rectangle.
And
a cylinder.
yes, but
With two
we would
halves,
say
so it's the same.
a rectangular prism, right? So we have a rectangular prism and a cylinder. That is 100% correct. What?
I was gonna ask something and I just forgot.
Okay, so here we have a cylinder. Now, keep in mind, I always like to try to show kids this is exactly what Tucker said. That's half of the cylinder. And then this down here would be what? The other half of the cylinder. Yes.
2.5 the radius.
That's the diameter. All right. What they generally will do if they will give you that is they will have a decimal, and then they will have it only one part of it drawn. You with me on that? So here, what I would like to do is I would like to say, because I have a cylinder and I have a prism, we just learned what the formula for a cylinder is. That's pi r squared times h. And then what we do is we have a rectangular prism. And does anybody remember what the formula for the rectangular prism was? Tell me. You are awesome. Little b, little h, capital H. And then what do I do with those two volumes? You add them together. All right. So generally I say a subscript 1 and a subscript 2. Tell me.
So we multiply like the little b, the little h, and the big h, but we just like add the
Final answers. Now I'm going to show you individually now, right? So I want everybody to be able to see that this up here represents half the cylinder, right? So make sure you're following along with me. So I have pi. Now what is the radius of the cylinder? What would be the radius of the cylinder? What is it? 1.25. All right, 1.25. And then you square it. Now some kids last class had a little trouble with the height. Or what's the height of the cylinder? Sean. I just want to know the height of the cylinder. What's the height of the cylinder? Tell me. Yeah, 3.5. The height of the cylinder is simply this distance between the two bases. All right? And this is over here. This would be the other side of the base that's hard to see because it's not drawn in. All right, so the distance between those two bases is what this 3.5 is. So it would be times 3.5. Okay, now I need everybody, I'm going to kind of erase this so I can see it better. All right, I need the little b and the little h for the rectangle. Now again, to me it was always beneficial to draw the rectangle. So what's the base and height of that rectangle, Sean? That's exactly right. So it'd be 8 times 2.5. Now what's the height? What's the height of it now? What's the height of the rectangular prism? Yes, it is the same, of course, 3.5. Now, what am I supposed to do with those two volumes again? Add them. So take your calculator. You can do it straight into the calculator. You can do pi times 1.25 squared times 3.5 plus 8 times 2.5 times 3.5. You can type it straight in. All right, your calculator does the order of operation. Jack, I'm assuming you got the answer, right? What did you get?
136.5.
So the volume is approximately, say it one more time.
136.5.
Anybody else get somewhere around there? Somebody got 87.
I got 86.1.
All right, so it looks to me like 87 is probably the right answer. So now, take your calculator out and do the problem again. Double check your work right now. All right, are we agreeing that's roughly around 87? All right, so we're waiting on you, Jack, to retype the numbers in on the calculator and find your mistake. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now 75 is a little bit further off than I would like it. So let's do it again. Pi times 1.25 squared times 3.5. Okay, good. Just take the box with you so I don't have to watch you get up and down, up and down, up and down all class period. All right. Is that about right? 87? All right, that's good. All right, so again, most important thing is try to find your mistakes. All right, now we're just going to talk quickly about number 11. All right, so number 11, that's just what? That's just two cylinders. All right, so for number 11, I want you to write down V1 equals pi r squared h, and V2 equals pi r squared h. Just because there are two cylinders. Everybody agree with that? And then I do what to those? You add them together. All right, I'm sure everybody can do that. All right. Sorry, I really messed that up. All right. Now, what's that? Oh, okay, that's kind of weird. All right, thank you. All right, now we're on 13 though, right? All right, so let's take a look at 13. A pipe. What is the shape of a pipe? Cylinder. So I'm not worried about that one. All right, you know that. If you know a pipe is a cylinder, you know how to do the problem. All right, let's look at 15. Uh-oh. 15 is in the shape of like a dumbbell. All right, is that right? 15. How many cylinders do we have here? How many? At 3. Now, someone asked me that same thing, right? You know what I'm saying? When you have a dumbbell, like the bar that you hold is also a what? The bar that you hold is also a cylinder, right? Yeah, but you're adding up all the cylinders. Now, somebody tell me why this one's not as hard as 3 cylinders. Because why, Sean? They're the same thing, right? So these two cylinders are exactly the same. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down volume 1 is equal to pi r squared times h. And then why did I put times 2? There's 2 of the same. All right, that'll save you a little bit of time. And then the second volume is, again, pi r squared times h. And then what do I do with those volumes? You just add them together, and that'll give you your total. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yes, ma'am. It's kind of like that. I mean, if you ever look at those weights, so that's what that is. Okay? Hey, same thing. You're not distracting me. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. Number 16, I think, is easy for you. All right? They're just having 12 cans. So you find the volume of 1 and multiply it by what? Multiply by 12. That's the easy one. All right, now 17 is the one that's a little bit more difficult, though. 17, I want someone to explain to me what that shape is. That shape is a, tell us, trapezoidal
prism.
Yes, it's trapezoidal prism. All right, again, it's called a trapezoidal prism simply because the base is a what? Trapezoid. If you remember the formula for area of the trapezoid, this problem is easy. So here we go. I'm going to write the formula for you. V equals capital B, capital H. Now, somebody, please tell me, we've written it enough times, you should be able to tell me the area of a trapezoid. Go. And then? Yes, beautiful. Could not have said it better myself. All right, that's how easy, if you understand the volume formula. If you understand the volume formula, it's just a matter of, hey, what is the base shape? Once you find the base shape, you now can figure out what the volume is, because it's always the area of the base shape times the height. Now, say, what do you mean you add them? No, you're multiplying. So here, just to make sure, V equals 1/2. Somebody tell me the two bases of the trapezoid. Tell us, go ahead. Yeah, 8 plus 12. Now the hard part. What is the height of the prism? Or not the height of the prism, but what's the height of the trapezoid? 10. Then you have to tell me times the height of the prism now. And that was 22. All right, that is correct. You just listen to yourself on the video tonight, seriously. Just listen to yourself. All right? All right, that was number 17. Now, number 18, that is a what? What's a? Yes, that's called a triangular prism. And then what I did on this is I grabbed these from the last worksheet just to make you do them over again with just different numbers. Who remembers what I called 19? Yes, Pentagonal Prism. That's called a Pentagonal Prism. Yes, the area of the base looks like a house and is simply a rectangle and a triangle. All right, but in the future we will be discussing the area of regular pentagonal prisms, all right, which you'll be able to figure out. Yeah, and then 20, all right, 20, that's just called a what? Yes, called a rectangular prism. So that should be good now. You should have a good start now with all of that worksheet. I'm expecting you to have all of the problems done tomorrow. I want you to write the formula, plug the numbers into the formula, and then use your calculator to tell me what the solution is. All right, does anybody have any questions? All right, good job.